So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to another unit, and I actually was trying to think of a couple of units that we could do well with remote learning that most people would be interested in and that was totally doable. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie together two units, lettering and perspective. It's going to be a long unit, probably 5 or 6 weeks. And I'm going to expect that the assignments are going to be shorter, maybe a week, a little bit less than a week. And we're going to try to build on the skills that we learned from the week before as we move forward. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything that we're going to do. And then in the next video, I'll break it down into the first step. And on that video, you'll see what will be due for that week. All right. So this video is going to be a tire review, and we're going to talk about perspective. What is it? So the first unit is going to be about perspective and lettering, and perspective has to do with the way that we see. So this is supposed to be us, and this is what is called our horizon line. Our horizon line is our eye level line. If something is below our eye level line, we see the top of it, and we see the front of it, and we can see some sides of it. If it is above our horizon line, we can see the front of it and maybe a side of it. And if it is above our horizon line, then we see the front of it and the bottom of it. And that'll become more clear as we do the projects as we move ahead. On the next video, you'll be drawing 3 boxes, and they can look something like this. They won't exactly be in the same order. You could have your fat one, and then your medium one, and your thin one. And then we're going to take those 3 boxes and we're going to make a horizon line, which is a line that's going to go across here, and we're going to put our vanishing point in the center. And I'm going to show you how to make those boxes look 3-dimensional. So just so that you kind of get an idea of what they're going to look like, I did one for you beforehand. And then you're going to do another set of 3 boxes, and you're going to change where the vanishing point on the horizon is. So in the last one, you remember the vanishing point was right here, and in this one, it's way over here. And of course, the boxes look different because our view is different. I'm standing right here. I'm looking up at the boxes. I'm standing right here, and I'm looking over at the boxes. We're going to take what we know about one-point perspective and about making boxes, and we're going to jump over to the lettering unit. And I'm going to teach you some simple letters first. So the simplest letter is the letter L. And so you can see it's above my horizon line. Here's my horizon line. There's my vanishing point. I colored in the letters with green just so that you can get an idea of where we're going. And then another simple letter is T. It's a little bit more difficult than the L. And you can see that my horizon line's right here. My vanishing point is right here. So I or you are right there looking up at the gigantic T. A little bit more complex is an O. And so here's my horizon line. And that's me standing looking up at the O. And then if I can turn the page, a more complex letter, this is the R. So block letters. There, that's us or me looking up at our R. If you want to get super fancy, you can change the edges of your letters if you would like, but you can also keep them just as a block if you would like. It's totally up to you. So that's the difference between the two of them. Either one of them is fine with me. And I did the same thing with the R. I turned in the sides a little bit so that you could see what that looks like. Some of you probably have done block letters before, so if you have, maybe you want to curve out your round parts, but if you haven't, you may want to keep them straight. We're going to go from learning how to make the letters to deciding on a word, and we're going to use maybe 3 or 4 letter words. We're going to draw them out, so the A is in this block, the R is in this block, the T is in that block, and there is my word art. Drawn out in block letters, but it's not in the 3rd dimension yet. I decided on this one I would put my vanishing point, or I would be standing over here, and that's what the perspective lines look like, and you can see it looks like it pops out. And this is the same as this, only I changed for this one. I changed my vanishing point right here, just so that I could show you as many different positionings of the vanishing point in a quick video as possible. And you can see too, we're using our shading skills that we've learned before to make the letters look more 3-dimensional as well. And then after we do this project, after we do the blocks and the letters and the word. Then we're going to take what we've learned about perspective and we're going to do more on perspective. So one of the options that I'm going to give you is that you can build a house in perspective. So here's some simple ones. And all these papers, of course, will be on Google Classroom as well. Here's some more complex houses. If you don't like the triangles, making the triangles, you can make something that is more mid-century modern looking if you would like. So made up of blocks. It can be very realistic, or it can be from like totally a different planet out of your imagination. This is a really cool one. You can combine your knowledge of making houses into something that's more like an illustration. So this has the 3 houses. You can see that you can see the bottom of that house, the underneath of it, but you can't see it right here, which means the horizon line is someplace in here. If you don't want to draw a house, that's absolutely fine. I thought maybe you would like to draw a car or a truck. So I made some copies of different types of photos online. How you start off kind of simple. It becomes a little bit more complex. These also showed more about where your vanishing points, because we're going to talk about 2-point perspective in these as well, not just 1-point perspective. So 2 points right here, and how you get the car to look like, how you build the car based on those 2 points. Very sophisticated. I like this one because it tied in line quality, and you know we've done a lot with line quality with our doodle, with our shoes, making it more precise by emphasizing some of the lines. And if you don't want to do a house or a car, if you think those 2 are really difficult, you can go back to 1-point perspective and do some type of a city typescape with 1-point perspective. So you'll have quite a few options that you can choose from when we get to this point. But this point's going to be about 4 weeks off. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Just kind of a review of everything that we're doing. Make sure that you don't get behind. Make sure that you don't get behind. You'll be getting like a weekly grade on each thing because I'll be breaking it down into smaller sections. I think that will be working out a little bit better as far as you planning your time and being successful to get your credit for 2D design. Okay, thanks.